My name is Brett Schaefer, and I live in the Fairview community, and we're out here to let the county know for cup number 2014-00017 to keep industrial marijuana where it belongs in an industrial zoning area and out of our residential neighborhoods.
Yeah, we need to. Look at that smile, man.
Hi, I'm Loretta Bilo, and I'm here trying to get the county to stop putting pot farms in our residential neighborhoods. We think they should be in industrial neighborhoods and not where our children and our elderly people live, or just anyone lives.
Hi, I'm Maureen Hera, and I'm here because industry belongs industrial. Plain and simple. That's it. Okay.
My name is Alan Slind, and we're here to help keep industrial marijuana out of our neighborhoods. It needs to be in an industrial area and not in a neighborhood where people and children live.
Are they trying to do that right now?
Yes, they are. There are several applications with the county for putting these in neighborhoods. One of them in Fairview, at the old Fairview Grade School, and then one on the Old Olympic Highway, which is hearing tomorrow night. We're supporting them also. We don't believe it should be in any neighborhood. It should be in the industrial areas.
Let us return to our normal lives and get away from having plants, industrial plants, in rural neighborhoods.
Do you see a danger in putting these in rural neighborhoods?
Yes, it does away with the neighborhood community, and it can bring in crime, and there's probably runoff from some of the chemicals that they use. I don't see how they control everything. No business seems to be able to do that. So we believe that it is not right.
We've got at the Fairview School site, there's a lake. Ducks, geese, swans, red-winged blackbirds, killdeer, all of those animals, critters, are out there. And the runoff is from the septic system can't be healthy for us. Can't be healthy for those animals that have to live in that environment. That lake leaches into the property at Fairview. Oops, maybe they should check that out.
We don't want industrial marijuana in our neighborhoods. We live in a rural neighborhood, and industrial marijuana does not belong there. It does not belong in our rural zone. I'm on a 5-acre parcel, a 5-acre piece of, and it has lots of open space, and we've got lots of trees, and I can see my neighbors all around, and I interact with my neighbors a lot. We have potlucks, and we have fruit trees that are ready to pick. And I encourage my neighbors and my friends to come over and pick. We don't send them to Sunny Farms to be sold. We have our neighbors come in and pick as a neighborhood activity. And if we have a industrial marijuana in our neighborhood, it does not fit in. It's not compatible. It's not compatible to our rural neighborhood.
Now you're holding a sign that says 4-H. What's that all about?
Just behind me, we have some farmers that have 4-H children come to their property, and they take care of their chickens and horses, and not horses, but cows, right on their property, and that is adjacent to the site of a marijuana facility, and we're against that. It's just too close.
I'm Gordon Ships from the Agnew area, and I'm opposed to growing pot in our rural residential areas. I think it needs to go in the industrial areas.
Now, what makes your area rural area?
It's rural residential. It's all residential. There's no business, there's agriculture, but there's no nothing like industrial, which marijuana is considered an industrial product by the state.
Are you on a larger piece of property?
I'm on 2.5 acres.
So why am I here? I'm here joining with a good group of people who are concerned neighbors on the Olympic Peninsula, in particular in Port Angeles and Sequim, to stand up for what's going on here in the county as the state has seemingly promoted the supposed vote of 55%, at least in Clallam County, of the people to approve recreational use of marijuana. Well, within that is the supply of that marijuana. And so the state has quite stiff regulations about where that marijuana comes from, how it transports. And so there's all of a sudden a new need of supply. So they want to begin promoting the production and processing and then retail sale of the marijuana. Well, in that process, all of a sudden, neighborhoods, homes right next to other homes are allowed to start growing and developing this marijuana. And it's very inappropriate for the raising of families. As I started to study and look on into the marijuana that we're developing now, it's a lot different than the stuff I smoked 40 years ago. 40 years ago, it might have had a THC content of maybe about 4.5%. The basic average now is 16.5% on up to 30% THC content. So we've got a whole different thing going on. I'm calling this narcotic production. It's not just marijuana. This is stuff that if you take 3 hits off of a joint, you're going to the hospital if you're not used to it, if you don't already have some THC in your blood supply. So bottom line, there's a lot of ignorance going on and a lot of propaganda covering up that ignorance. We got a huge problem here. And I think that all of a sudden the county, its officials, Board of Commissioners, Community Development Department are starting to listen up and I think make some changes here and start paying attention a little more. So we've made some progress, some advancement. Some of the permits that would have probably been issued before we started informing and picketing and writing letters and whatnot, those permits have been denied, and we're continuing on a level like that I think is prudent. So why I'm here is just to be a part of helping those that are wanting to help the local community to get informed on what's happening and to get control on this new recreational use of marijuana and where to grow it and where not to grow it. So it's a pleasure to be here and appreciate being able to share my story with you. My name is Brad Busher and I'm a happy resident of Sequim for 18 years.
Now, what is the outcome that you're trying to see happen here?
Well, the outcome, number one and chiefly, is correct placement of whatever processing and production facilities are approved. Correct placement meaning we believe they need to be in business parks, industrial zones, commercial areas, more localized, so that safety violations, things that are definitely going to come, it's not speculative, that you don't have the sheriff and police running all over the county, which I think we're the largest county in the state, if not the second largest. So we're trying to isolate it into industrial zones, zones that were made according to our comprehensive plan in land use for the county. And if we can get them isolated more into those zones, that's really our number one goal. It's not the ethic of whether to smoke it or not. Hey, that's supposedly law, and okay, non-issue to me. But where you're going to grow this and where you're going to start putting these processing centers that are using closed loop butane, ethane, CO2 gas systems to press out this high grade THC and stuff, you got to get it under control and isolate it. So we're just hoping to get the county and the commissioners to make sure that this stuff's isolated to those zones.
K-A-R-L-A?
Yeah, she's the administrator of the group.